welcome to RIA Rail TV episode, where we speak with our members about innovation in railway and see where the most exciting innovations are happening, what challenges our members are seeing, and how we, RIA, and you, the industry, can help them to overcome it.
Good morning, everyone. I have to say, I'm absolutely delighted to be here today at the opening of the Rail Innovation Exhibition. From the introduction of steam power and the standard gauge to engineering feats of brilliance such as Brunel's box tunnel. Many chapters in this story have been written by British innovators. And it's excellent to see such spirit on show today, recognising the companies that continue to push the boundaries, helping the railways to rise up to the challenges of the future.
Network Rail innovates across the board. We've got a huge portfolio. We're investing over £250 million this control period. And we've found that innovators and companies can get involved in innovating with us in many, many different ways. We have a pipeline. We regularly publish our opportunities around innovation, but there's a lot of other ways to get involved. So if you were to go on the Railway Industry Association's Unlocking Innovation site, for example, you'd find our innovation journey there, which steps you through the whole journey from looking at the challenges that we have in Network Rail right through to some of the technologies that have been deployed and all the steps along the way.
As a supplier, there are clear barriers to implementing innovation on the railway, so it's having that clear business path from having an idea to how do you actually get it on the railway. So having good conversations with Network Rail, how do you create clear stage gates so at each stage you know it's worth to continue making an investment. I mean, in the end, we all want to have a more innovative railway, we want to lower costs, we want to get more passengers and have more benefits. So it's having a continual dialogue with the rest of the industry about how you implement it.
Community Rail Lancashire is all about helping people to access rail travel confidently, and since the pandemic this is particularly challenging for people. Even people who were very confident travelling by rail have got anxieties about going back to train travel. So if there are innovators out there, we are really happy to hear from them.
Funding needs to be available from proof of concept through to pilot and prototyping actually in the environment, which in ClearTrac's case is on board a train. So not only you have to also develop relationships with people that believe in the product, that will ultimately be the market for the product, and funding covers both technical and commercial realisation and exploitation phases of the development.
So some of the challenges that we're facing in rail freight around the moment are around how we grow sustainably. There's huge ambition for more companies to put their goods on rail. We need to have the rail network equipped to cope with that growth and market products that are available and buyable by those businesses to put their goods onto our trains. We also have challenges of decarbonisation of our own services, equipment and facilities ahead of that net zero 2050 obligation. And we also need to modernise the way we work in particular in yards, in terminals and in the systems that underpin rail freight, bringing more digitisation and more technology into those spaces.
So at Connox, our mission statement is to transform railway operations for a sustainable future, and we know that we can't do that on our own. So having conferences such as the RIA Innovation Conference enables us to meet other suppliers who we can form partnerships with so that we can utilise their data, we can work together, we can build joint platforms that ultimately will change how people interact with the data that's out there, interact with new data, and change their role away from having to search for lots of bits of information and having it all at their fingertips. So they'll be able to make much swifter decisions, easier decisions, and more comprehensive decisions.
In terms of innovation, we're always looking for solutions that solve our challenges, whether that's a continuous improvement, something disruptive, or perhaps something that's worked well in another industry that we can try on rail. And we get the challenges of trying to innovate on rail, but we have trains, we have stations, it's a perfect test bed to have a go at something at a small scale, prove a concept, fail fast if something isn't working, and learn from it and really understand how things can work best at scale.
So we're fairly new to the rail industry. We've only been involved for the last couple of years, so there was quite a lot for us to kind of untangle and unearth how it kind of all worked together. And that did present quite a lot of barriers, like who to talk to in which environment, who were the decision makers, where the budget holders were, where the innovation sits within that. So that has been a huge challenge, but I think underlying that has been the willingness for everyone to collaborate in many circumstances, and that started to give us energy, and then the appropriate stakeholders started to come together and really kind of have the same end goal in sight. So that's how we sort of started to overcome some of those initial challenges.
I feel very optimistic about the FOAC programme over the coming years. As you know, we've managed to secure funding for the remainder of the spending period, which is a really good achievement. And I know that our Secretary of State is personally very, very interested in the programme. In fact, he said to us last night how much he loves the programme, and I know that he intends to visit a number of successful competition winners over the course of the year.
Railway Industry Association supports innovation by bringing all of our members and not members, the railway suppliers, railway industry suppliers together, and helping them understand where the opportunities are, what challenges need to be addressed, and meeting the right people that will help them roll out the innovations into the market.